Man, I mean, what is he, 7'4"?
Yeah.
I mean, he's generational.
There's just never been
I've never seen a
anyone
prospect like him in
him.
my life. Yes, Malika, think Kevin Durant meets Rudy Gobert.
It's 7'4", 7'5" in shoes.
8-foot wingspan, only 18 years old.
The singular greatest prospect in NBA draft history. We are going to see a race to the bottom
like we've never seen before, is what one GM told Woj.
Wow. You've seen what happened in Utah. You've seen what happened in San Antonio. All of these teams are preparing for a very, very subpar season to save the least.
Y'all gonna stop coming in my live talking about this Victor dude, bro.
They've been tripping on y'all.
Y'all gonna get off my page with that too. We hooping this year. Y'all gonna see.
Short-handed Spurs team. They beat the Grizzlies 2 consecutive games. They jumped to 6-2 and undefeated at home.
Oh boy, this one's gonna be fun. I hope you enjoy.
You always said that Dame wanted to get that extension with the Trailblazers. He's got the extension. They're going to start out of the gate slowly. And then their front office, the new front office, is going to say, you know what? I like Victor Wembanyama, and I like Scoot. And we shouldn't be trying to get in the play-in to lose in the play-in and not even make the playoffs. We should be at the bottom. And Dame Lillard will be traded this season by the Blazers to another team because they're on the clock for the draft spot that could bring in Victor Wembanyama to the Northwest from France.
Now, obviously, the Blazers are starting off hot, but where are they going to finish towards the end of the season?
I mean, I have them in the play-in tier. I don't think there's like a huge difference between them and Sacramento necessarily, which is also what the ESPN summer forecast. I think there was only a 1-game difference between them and the standings. And I think our projection for them was something like 35-47, which is rough.
Now, of course, we got to talk about the trades that happened, the Jeremy Grant trade. Of course, before that, the CJ McCollum trade that got him sent to New Orleans with Josh Hart and other players coming in, giving Portland added depth, but also you had people doubting it still.
I start to feel bad for Damian Lillard. He has been one of the most loyal players. He has talked and advocated for players staying, and I would put him in the same boat as Giannis, trying to do it the hard way.
At this point, Damian Lillard got shut down for the 2021-2022 season, and obviously he wants an extension to his contract, and even Stephen A. starts doubting him.
Well, but I say this again, I am not happy with what I'm hearing. Damian Lillard needs to leave Portland. Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers ain't going anywhere. How much time does Damian Lillard think he has? He's 31, that's for sure. He ain't 38 or anything like that. So I understand that. But this league has an awful lot of young talent spread throughout the league. And the guys that are older are Damian Lillard's age.
So after coming off a subpar season, you can understand the doubts.
Well, we got the big news today. Damian Lillard, he just signed a 2-year, $122 million extension.
You know, I never thought we'd see a day where a player would be earning $60 million, and that's what it is, $63 million in the last year of the extension. Remember, in 2010, the salary cap was $58 million.
Yes.
Oh boy, the NBA sure has come a long way. And so have the Trailblazers.
The Portland Trailblazers are the only unbeaten team in the Western Conference. So, Michael Wilbon, if I said to you, the Trailblazers are going to make the playoffs, too soon?
Yeah. 4 games, small sample size. But, Green, there's so many good teams in the West. It's too soon, but good for them they're playing as well this early.
It's too soon.
And they're doing this, mind you, without Gary Payton II, who was sidelined with an injury to begin the season. And Anthony Simons, as a backup point guard, looks very good. And of course, we all know the star, Damian Lillard. I mean, this guy can average 30 in his sleep.
Good ball. They waste no time.
Simons rushing off the screen, drilled it straight away, and got knocked down.
We had the Portland Trailblazers potentially watching Victor Wembanyama and saying maybe we shouldn't win games. Well, guess what? Dame Lillard's not letting them lose games. They're now 4-0, and they beat those Denver Nuggets last night handily.
Now, I know the doubters, the naysayers, this is where they come in. Look, Lillard got hurt again. And what do you think? He's getting older and he's getting more injury prone. Yeah, this is spelling bad for the Portland Trailblazers. They're gonna slip, and they may slip, but let's not underestimate what they can do healthy.
It's crazy that, we've been able to win both of these games just with our trust. I'm on both ends of the floor, trusting that the next guy is going to do their job, and it hasn't always been pretty, but it's been connected. And when you connected, you stay together through the ups and downs of an NBA game. You find a way to get it done, and once again we was able to do it, and we just got to keep building on that.
And I think what's even more valuable is the leadership from Damian Lillard. I mean, you could see here, this is going to be an ongoing theme with these teams coming forward.
When you're doing something that's working and you're hurting the other team, you start to think that it's easy, and you kind of slowly get away from what you were doing because you get confident and you think that you can just, do something different. And that's when things kind of fall back and you have some turnovers and you have some bad possessions and stuff like that. So we just got to get that in our minds. Like, when something is working, we execute, and we got to stay disciplined and stay sharp. And then, we won't have those dips in our production offensively.
I'm telling you, those are some wise words. And now, on to Utah.
The Jazz have been one of the surprises, probably the biggest surprise in the first week.
This is really the team I like the most out of the three that I'll talk about today, because these guys are a bunch of castaways, right? And they got something to prove.
The Utah Jazz sent Donovan Mitchell to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You'll notice the Cleveland Cavaliers are not the New York Knicks, and Donovan Mitchell had averaged 26 a game for Utah last season. In return for Mitchell, the Jazz received Lauri Markkanen, Colin Sexton, their first-round pick from Kansas, Ochai Agbaji, 3 unprotected first-round picks, and 2 potential pick swaps, all of which is obviously a lot.
A lot of those guys, yes, coming from the Donovan Mitchell trade, but of course, we cannot forget that Rudy Gobert trade, where arguably there were more players involved, okay? More picks involved. I mean, this is really what set the market ablaze last summer.
The Timberwolves, they send Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Jared Vanderbilt, the number 22 overall pick, Walker Kessler, 4 first-round picks to the Jazz.
With the Gobert-Mitchell era now done, the Utah Jazz were now set to rebuild. I mean, this was a tanking season, right? At least that's what we all thought. Danny Ainge, of course. It seemed like he had all those picks for a reason. He was trying to get Wemby.
In trading Rudy and now Donovan, it was a rare opportunity to maximize our ability to get quality talent and picks to best position us moving forward.
I mean, do you not see what I mean? I mean, they're tied with the Thunder, having the most picks in the next 7 drafts. And in Utah, I mean, there's something interesting going on, I'm telling you. With Markkanen being its prized possession, the star, the lone all-star perhaps in this season. I mean, this is a Utah Jazz team where Markkanen, he had a great showing in the Eurobasket tournament, and he's carrying that over into the season.
Colin Sexton back on the court, goes baseline, Markkanen, again a catch-and-shoot 3, splash, there you go.
But this team is like a bunch of misfits assembled. I mean, these guys, didn't get along in their prior teams, right? Or perhaps things just didn't work out for them, and now they just got a chip on their shoulder. I'm telling you, there's something beautiful about this team. Right now, it may be the honeymoon phase. Things may get worse, but something tells me this will keep going, right? Out of the 3 teams I'm talking about today, this has to be the team I'm buying the most stock in. These guys have no egos, right? Obviously, that could all change. But right now, these guys they're buying into what new coach Will Hardy is setting in motion. I mean, this is beautiful to watch. This is the biggest underdog story of the season, and I'm just excited to see where it goes from here, man.
Drives paint, crosses over, Beasley 3. Yeah!
Now moving on to the Spurs, where you'd think, Josh Primo being waived, it would cause a problem. But it seems like the Spurs, they're moving along. This is not going to affect them. And the way they've handled this, I mean, this is a first-class organization, right? And I'm pretty sure, Boston, they should take notes.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I'll say it anyway. What the hell? Nobody here should go to Vegas with the thought of betting on us to win the championship.
It's crazy to think about, right? The San Antonio at one point, dynasty of 2 decades, where Tim Duncan was, the main star of the team. Now, obviously, things have changed since then.
Langford takes care of business.
But just like Portland, the young kids, they're being guided by the leadership of Popovich.
They're young enough, they don't know any better. They just keep playing hard. They enjoy playing with each other. And they're, pretty much obeying the basketball gods, doing all the simple things that help win games. But that's the juice. It's the competitiveness, that part, and I think they've got that down.
And some of these young guys, very low-key acquisitions through the draft, through trading with other teams, and obviously the Spurs, low-key as always.
And, the young kids, Blake and Malachi, I don't think they even know what the capital of Texas is. but I don't care. Yeah, they just they just went and played and filled in, that kind of thing. Romeo has been fantastic. So, the guys that have been here, like Keldon and Jakob and Trey, they're great young leaders.
And I think the San Antonio Spurs, they got some interesting young guys. I mean, Devin Vassell being one of them, of course. And obviously, they still got Josh Richardson. And, I'm not going to say much about him. But, of course, Trey Jones. How could StatMuse do him like this? Come on. Now, we got to talk about Keldon Johnson as well. He's, I think, their best player at this point. He's going to be, at one point, an all-star. I'm pretty sure he's taken the leap yet again. This guy keeps getting better. And it's actually amazing to watch him shoot the free. And of course, Jakob Poeltl, a player that I'm pretty sure will get talked about way more, just like Keldon Johnson, if he was on a different team, a different market. Oh boy.
Yeah, we'll give credit to our defense for not allowing more. Keldon Johnson answers. That is his 5th three-point shot.
Are any of these teams going to end up as champions come 2023? Probably not. So why even bother highlighting these? Right? Who cares about the season? No. What's important here is these teams that were expected to see tank aren't even tanking for Wembanyama. They're actually playing, competing hard, and we need to see more of that in the NBA. Look, I know Wembanyama is a great talent, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are excited to see how great he can be. But to see players not go for the tank, to see teams actually compete hard when they're not even expected to, it just makes the NBA a much better product to watch.